crews. Let's listen
Attention.
to the sound of explosive starts from these 2.8s. It's the Wargrave, it's Thames, it's Molesey. Huge rival between these two clubs over decades and decades. Clean start. Everything is to play for here. They'll be tense, but they'll be delighted to get underway.
Molesey flew out of the start there. They know that this is going to be a challenge. Thames won this event in 2024. They won this event in 2023. They won this event in 2022. So they have to turn over these women who are looking for a fourth consecutive win here in the Wargrave.
Yeah, so in that context, having aggressive start is exactly what you'd want to do. Young women from Molesey, you can see spray flying around as we're getting a view actually from the umpire's launch here, which is wonderful. An umpire's eye view of Molesey poling along, making the gear change from the rocket-like start that you called, Zoe, into something they can try and sustain, but they can't make that gear change too big a change because we know the form that Thames have.
Absolutely, and you can see Izzy Cassidy there at stroke in the Molesey crew, so the one closest to the Cox, and she was just driving a really solid rhythm, aggressive with the legs, but long, and it was starting to look nice and relaxed in the shoulders, which is exactly what you need to take you through the middle part of the race.
I want you to talk a bit more about the relationship between the Cox and the stroke and the rest of the crew here. They've got some great class in that Thames crew. Hannah Murphy, who won the boat race for Cambridge, I believe, a year ago, have a lot of experience, just as you do. So what's the Cox thinking at this point? What's the job she's doing?
Yeah, I mean, Hannah's a great example. She's a brilliant Cox. She understands how women's eights work and how they move fast. You've got to have a good relationship with your stroke, because that's how you communicate about how the boat feels. You're going to feel things from the Cox's seat that the stroke person can't, and they're going to experience things that you are not able to. So it's how you make those two things work together.
So in a second we should be able to pick up some of the words of these two Coxes, so it gives us a chance to do that. We're looking at Molesey now, coxed here by Omar Al-Migdadi. Let's listen to what they're saying. Just tuning into them here as we pick up that sound. Looking at the barrier marker there, we can see, as Zoe called it quite correctly, Molesey ahead, but only by a quarter of a length, and we're about 640, 660 metres now into this race. They're coming alongside it. We'll start on our effects mic here on the boom to pick them up, so let's listen in now. Molesey looking strong. I think we're picking up more music than coxing, but there's music that the Molesey crew are trying to make. It's all about the rhythm. It's all about what they can sustain through the middle. They'll be pretty pleased to be sitting here at this stage, I think so.
Yeah, and I think if it was me, what I would be looking for here from my crew is I would be looking for a strong rhythm, something that's maintainable through the middle part of this race, because obviously it's a long race, but it's also got to be right on the edge. And you know that feeling as an athlete. You have to put yourself just there. And look, we see here Molesey, they're holding that lead, but Thames are attacking.
Yeah, it's absolutely critical, isn't it, to maintain as much of that overlap as possible. Molesey crew very, very determined. I saw them coming off the water from their training this morning, and they said that they are ready. They're absolutely ready to take a go at this.
So the athletes coming towards us now. We've got a little bit of gusty headwind, so what's really important is that you can see those oars are coming right round towards the bow of the boat and just slotting in nice and neatly. You want to make sure there's as minimal splash as possible. It's an efficient movement. Here we go. In they go, those Thames oars, nice and loose, getting ready to pick the boat up and keep it moving.
Yeah, a lot of experience, as you said, in the Thames boat, just picking up there at 7. Rosa Millard, 23 years of age. She, a great athlete, won the lightweight boat race for Cambridge in 22, and then the open weight boat race in 23. Loads of titles there at Thames, loads of form, and I wouldn't bet yet against Thames. They've held, haven't they? The boat speed through the middle of this course, Zoe, has been almost identical. That
really
position
matched.
hasn't moved.
Absolutely, and in the Thames boat, you've got to trust, you've got to believe that you've done enough training, you've done enough all year, you can bring yourself back into it, and in Molesey, you've got to have the confidence to sit there and keep moving away.
We just saw the 3/4 mile marker. It was exactly the same as the barrier marker. Nothing has changed, and so the only thing that Molesey need to do is hang on, Thames, they'll have been feeling like they're hanging on and hanging on. I've been in this position in a race before, you know, you're just not making progress and you're throwing more and more into it. So psychologically, a critical time now as you talk about the Cox, what will she be thinking and saying to keep them clean and keep them moving?
This is the bit where you've got to focus on being clear and concise as a Cox. The athletes, blood's rushing through their head, their legs are burning, their lungs are burning. They're not going to hear little points that you're making. You need big calls, you need clear calls. And actually, I have a question for you, because I only ever hear myself. Do you hear the crowd at this point?
Well,
what do you hear as an athlete?
Great question. I've got hairs on the back of my neck standing up as I look at this picture, because I remember racing down this track for the first time in a final 40 years ago. The crowd noise was so loud, the Cox was just banging the sides of the boat. We couldn't hear them at all. We'd never had crowds like it, and you'll see the same here. Two incredibly popular broad-based clubs racing absolutely their heart out for a place in the final. It's so key to them. Thames are still attacking, Zoe. They're still attacking. Super clear calls, as you say, from Hannah. Is it going to be enough? Molesey continue. You can see their puddles just drifting in front of this in this beautiful shot. Molesey are still ahead. And there's about 400 or 500 metres, 500 metres still to run.
You can see Thames are now really starting to put the hammer down. But for me, Molesey just look a bit cleaner. They look a bit more relaxed, a bit looser, which is easier to do when you're ahead, because you can see the crew coming up behind you.
And Omar in the Molesey boat, he'll be trying to keep them calm and telling them that being in this position is good and not to do anything too different, I think.
Keep doing what you're doing. If it's working, keep doing what you're doing. Exactly.
Final chance, Zoe, for the Thames crew to attack. But the Molesey crew, I think what they're doing is they're just holding. I think what Omar's saying to them is just hold them off. Let's not do anything fancy. Let's not risk a mistake. Just keep doing what you're doing. See the crowds. They really want to see Thames attack for a final time. But we're coming up to 12 strokes left. 11, 10. They're holding.
Keep it clean, keep it loose. You're in control.
So for the athletes now, well, the blood will be rushing in their ears. It's very hard to think. All you can do is just try to keep going through those motions and powering the very, very tired legs as much as you can. Thames, what a valiant effort, but from the start, that fast start that you called, Zoe, Molesey, a very, very hard-fought race. The first for both of these crew. Thames Boat Club A beating... Let me start again. Overexcited. Molesey Boat Club beating Thames. Hard-fought race. Molesey through to the final tomorrow.